What most seniors don't realize is that diabetes after 60 rarely begins with dramatic symptoms. It begins quietly. A little more fatigue in the afternoon. Slight blurry vision while reading the newspaper. Waking up twice a night to use the bathroom and thinking, well, that's just aging. But it's not always aging. And that misunderstanding is costing people their eyesight, their kidneys, even their independence. Here's what worries me most. Many older adults are following the same advice they've heard for 20 years: cut back on sugar, take a short walk, maybe lose a few pounds, and yet their blood sugar keeps climbing. According to the NIH, nearly 38% of adults over 65 are living with prediabetes, and most have no idea it's already damaging their nerves and blood vessels. But what if I told you some of the earliest warning signs of diabetes have nothing to do with sugar cravings at all? That changes the conversation completely. And before we go further, if these kinds of honest, science-based conversations help you feel more in control of your health, make sure you subscribe and stay with us, because growing older should never mean feeling powerless inside your own body. Hi, I'm Dr. Elaine Mercer. I've spent over 27 years in internal medicine working with seniors, and what I'm about to share changed the way I catch diabetes early in my patients. Today, we're going to talk about the 7 warning signs I never ignore after age 60, why they happen inside the body, and the small daily habits that can sometimes slow the damage before it becomes permanent. Now, let me explain what's actually happening inside the body, because once you understand that, these warning signs stop feeling random. They start making sense. Think of your bloodstream like a highway system delivering fuel to every organ. Glucose, blood sugar, is supposed to move smoothly into your cells where it becomes energy. But when insulin stops working properly, that sugar stays trapped in the blood like traffic after a major accident. Everything slows down. Your eyes. Your nerves. Your kidneys. Even your brain. And that brings me to the first warning sign I want you to pay attention to: unusual exhaustion after meals. Not normal tiredness. I mean that heavy, foggy feeling where you sit down after lunch and suddenly feel like your batteries disappeared. I hear this from patients all the time. Walter was 68 when he came into my office, convinced he was just getting old. He told me he needed a nap every afternoon after eating a sandwich and chips. His wife noticed he'd become forgetful too, leaving lights on, missing appointments. When we checked his blood sugar, it was dangerously elevated. What shocked him most was that he barely ate desserts. But diabetes isn't only about sweets. It's about how your body handles energy. Here's the part nobody tells you. Muscle movement after meals acts almost like a second key that helps pull sugar out of the bloodstream. A 16-week Penn State study found that adults over 60 who walked just 12 minutes after eating lowered post-meal blood sugar spikes by nearly 28%. That's enormous. Even gentle movement matters. Slow walking around the house. Watering plants. Folding laundry. Your body responds quickly when muscles start demanding fuel again. And if you've been feeling that crushing fatigue lately, especially after breakfast or dinner, your body may be trying to warn you long before a diagnosis ever appears on paper. The second warning sign is numbness or burning in the feet, especially at night. Many seniors describe it to me as wearing invisible socks or feeling tiny pins in their toes. That happens because high blood sugar slowly injures the small nerves that carry signals to the brain. And once nerve damage advances, it becomes much harder to reverse. The third sign is constant thirst paired with frequent urination. If you keep a glass of water beside the bed every night and still wake up with a dry mouth, please don't ignore that. Your kidneys may be struggling to flush excess sugar from the blood. Louise was 72 when she mentioned this almost casually during a blood pressure visit. She thought drinking more water was the healthy thing to do. But her glucose levels were nearly double the normal range. 6 months later, after changing her breakfast, walking after dinner, and losing 11 pounds slowly, not aggressively, her numbers improved enough that we avoided insulin. Now I need to stop here for a moment. If you have kidney disease, take insulin, use blood thinners, or you're already on diabetes medication, do not make sudden diet or exercise changes without speaking to your doctor first. I mean that sincerely. Some healthy changes can unexpectedly drop blood sugar too fast. One mistake I see constantly is seniors ignoring small symptoms because they appear gradually. Blurry vision. Dry skin. Slow healing cuts. People normalize them. But diabetes loves silence. That's why catching these warning signs early matters so much. Let me show you what this can look like in real life. A simple breakfast with eggs, oatmeal, and berries instead of sweet cereal. A 10-minute walk after lunch, even if it's just around the block. Water instead of soda at dinner. Checking your feet before bed. Small things. But small things repeated daily can completely change the direction of your health after 60. And remember the signs we talked about today: crushing fatigue after meals, numbness in the feet, constant thirst, blurry vision, slow healing cuts, dry itchy skin, and waking up several times at night to urinate. Those symptoms are not your body betraying you. They're messages. Your body is asking for help before deeper damage begins. Let me be honest with you. I've seen patients in their 70s improve their blood sugar, regain energy, and avoid serious complications simply because they paid attention early enough. Age does not cancel your ability to heal. Your body is still listening to what you do every day. So if one of these warning signs sounds familiar, don't panic, but don't ignore it either. Talk with your doctor. Ask questions. Get tested. And if this conversation helped you feel more informed and less afraid, subscribe to the channel, share this with someone you love, and tell me in the comments which warning sign surprised you most. I'm Dr. Elaine Mercer. Thank you for spending these few minutes with me today. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.